Chapter 29 Special Election. After several weeks of printing ballots, shipping packages, cases, and pallets of them to every corner of New America, and setting up polling places, the election was held on a cool Tuesday in September. Sparrow nests arranged transportation for those who were not mobile, and they even sent out mobile poll workers to homebound individuals. Some people struggled to understand how to rank their choices, but when the final election came in November and people saw the narrowed field, it became clear who was in contention, and they were able to make their choices with confidence. After collecting the votes, counting by the regional election authorities, verification by the State Department, and final certification by the Secretary of State, Jude Kane was declared the overwhelming winner and newly elected president of New America. With a surprisingly strong showing over several regional governors and a few other senators, Janie Hollins secured the number 2 job and became the vice president. Here are some insights. To fill this power vacuum, Jude was elected, and Congress and the Senate are still in place. Now, what's the next move? How do you disentangle atoms from the financial system? Because you remember President Connor had seized control through atoms of the financial systems. And because of that, the executive branch is kind of tied up into atoms, into this AI system. And the Sparrows, said, hey, we need to have a real, genuine election, and we can't do that electronically with atoms in control of everything and President Connor having been tied up with that. So they go old school and they decide to have an election on a paper ballot, and they coordinate the sending out and the just like in old days, they coordinated an election on paper. And to fill that vacuum, Jude was elected, Janie was elected vice president, and that vacuum was filled. And of course, Congress and the Senate are still in place. So what's the next move? How do you disentangle atoms from the financial system? Well, now that Jude's president, that's his first job. And what's he going to do with atoms? How do you deal with that? Can you just turn it off? I think we know that that's pretty difficult because there are so many things that are controlled by computers, and especially in a future where AI is dominant and has such a prominent place in business and finance, you can't just turn off the biggest computer in the country. So what in the world is Jude going to do as the president of New America with atoms and this locked up financial system? Well, why don't we find out? We've got one more chapter to go. Stay tuned for Chapter 30.